Okay, we've all been there, right? You're at the checkout, you tap your card, feeling good, and then you hear that dreaded word, declined. It's embarrassing, it's frustrating, and you know you have money in the account. What you probably don't realize is that in that split second, you just stumbled onto the front line of this huge, invisible war being fought against financial criminals. So what's really happening behind that declined message? Let's get into it. First off, the scale of this fight is just staggering. We're talking about over $32 billion in global losses every single year from credit card fraud. That's the enormous problem that financial companies are trying to stop every second of every day. And here's the thing, this isn't some old problem that's just sitting there. It's actively getting worse. I mean, fraud jumped by a massive 35% in just 1 year, from 2021 to 2022. The crooks are getting way smarter and a whole lot more aggressive. And people are feeling it. It makes sense, right? A full 71% of us are worried about becoming a victim of fraud. This isn't just a number on a spreadsheet for the banks. It's a real fear that affects all of us. So let's put this together. We've got a rapidly growing, multi-billion-dollar problem that has most of us genuinely concerned. This isn't just some issue for banks to write off as a loss. It's a huge societal threat that demands a really powerful and, intelligent solution. I mean, just look at this. Our financial system today, it's this vast, interconnected digital web. It's not just a few simple pipes anymore. And in a world this complex, the old school security methods, like simple rules and flags, they just can't keep up. No way. And that's where our hero enters the story, artificial intelligence. In this high-speed, high-stakes game, AI is pretty much the only tool that's fast enough and smart enough to be a kind of digital detective, outsmarting criminals in real time. So the first way AI learns is through something called supervised learning. The best way to think about this is like a detective studying millions of old case files. The AI gets shown countless transactions that are already labeled fraud or legitimate, and from that, it learns to spot the classic moves criminals pull. But what about the brand new crimes, the ones nobody's ever seen before? Well, that's where unsupervised learning comes in. This is like our detective walking onto a crime scene and noticing one tiny clue that's completely out of place, something that just breaks the normal pattern. The AI learns your normal behavior so it can flag anything that suddenly deviates, catching new fraud tactics right as they happen. And all of this happens in the blink of an eye. The moment you tap your card, the AI is looking at hundreds of data points. Where are you? What time is it? How much are you trying to spend? Are you on your usual phone? It's asking and answering all these questions to make a split-second judgment call. And the scale here is just mind-boggling. To give you an idea, Visa's system analyzes over 500 different bits of data for a single transaction. Now multiply that by the billions of transactions happening all the time. That level of analysis is it's totally beyond what any human could do. So these AI systems are incredibly powerful and super vigilant. But that intense vigilance, well, it leads us right to the heart of what we're talking about today, the false positive problem. This is what happens when trying to be too safe actually creates a whole new set of issues. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Can a security system actually be too sensitive? Can that digital detective be so over the top that it starts accusing innocent people? The answer, as you've probably guessed, is a big yes. Okay, to really get this, we need to know about two kinds of errors. A false negative is the one that's easy to understand. That's when a criminal makes a purchase and the system totally misses it. The car alarm fails to go off during a break-in. But a false positive, well, that's the annoying experience we started with. It's your perfectly good purchase getting blocked because the system was a little too jumpy. It's like a car alarm that goes off every time a cat walks by. So, for the banks, the goal isn't just to block all fraud. If they did that, nobody could buy anything. It's about finding the perfect system balance, this razor's edge between maximum security, that millisecond speed, and a smooth, frustration-free experience for you. Because let's be real, if there are too many of those false positives, customers get really angry, really fast. So how in the world do they find that balance? Well, the good news is these AI systems aren't just set in stone. They are constantly being fine-tuned and tweaked. Essentially, they're always learning how to get better at telling the good guys from the bad guys. Here are some of the main ways they do it. They work on improving the data quality, because, garbage in, garbage out. They add more context, like knowing you're probably on vacation because you just bought a plane ticket. They also adjust what's called confidence thresholds. Think of it as telling a security guard, hey, don't sound the alarm for a tiny suspicion. Wait till you're almost certain there's a problem. And this is a big one. They use humans to review the AI's trickiest decisions, which helps the AI learn from its own mistakes. And this is definitely not a set it and forget it kind of thing. You can see here the kinds of complex dashboards that teams use to watch these systems 24/7. They're tracking accuracy and maybe most importantly, that rate of false positives, all in real time, so they can make adjustments on the fly. And do these strategies actually work? Oh, yeah. Check this out. A case study on JP Morgan Chase showed that after they put these advanced AI strategies in place, they saw a 60% drop in false positive alerts. That means millions of perfectly legitimate transactions that might have been blocked before just sailed right through. It all comes together in this continuous loop, this cycle of improvement. They collect the data, they train the model, they test it, they deploy it, and then, and this is the critical part, they feed the results of every transaction right back into the system. Every time you use your card, whether it's approved or declined, it becomes a new lesson that makes the AI just a little bit smarter for the very next transaction. All right, so what does the future hold? The fight against fraud is basically an arms race, and the technology is always evolving. So let's take a quick peek at what's coming up over the horizon. In the near future, we're going to see much better explainability, which means the AI will be able to tell us why it flagged your purchase. Long-term, the big dream is a zero-fraud ecosystem. And way down the line, you've got things like quantum computing, which could give these systems such a massive leap in power that they become almost unbeatable. Which leaves us with one final and honestly really important question. We all want our money to be safe, and AI is becoming the best tool we have for that job. But as it gets smarter and more powerful, how do we make sure that this digital detective doesn't just stay effective, but that it also remains fair, transparent, and ultimately trustworthy for every single one of us?